Hey friends, it's Betsy from the blog of flourishingplace.com, and in today's video I am talking all about how we are planning for our small budget kitchen refresh. So like I mentioned, my name is Betsy. I have a wonderful husband and two very small children, both of whom are still in diapers. And we bought a ranch house, a 3-bed, 1-bath. It's just about 1,000 square feet. And the kitchen has not been updated. It's a very serviceable kitchen. It works great for us, but we're just both feeling like we want to give it a little bit of a refresh. We're not at a point yet where we want to just rip everything out and start from scratch. Nothing wrong with that. And there will definitely be a time for that in our future. But right now we're looking at how to refresh what we have on a small budget and really do as much as we can to make this little kitchen look awesome. So this is going to be a 2-part video. I will do this part that I'm doing now where I'm talking about our planning process and what we are going to do in the kitchen. And then we're actually going to do the refresh, and I will do kind of a reveal video and sort of a wrap up of kind of what we had planned to do originally and what things changed, because of course inevitably there will be things that we do differently or things that we found out didn't work too well or whatever. And so I will do a 2-part video. So this is part 1 of that video. And if you're watching this a lot later, you can find part 2 linked in the description box below. But right now it is just barely the beginning of August, or almost the beginning of August. And we are planning to do this refresh in September. So there will be a little bit of a gap between when I do this video and when I do the second part. So first thing we did was basically planning out, talking through everything that we wanted to do. So this started with me pinning a lot of things on Pinterest, getting a bunch of different ideas, and just trying to figure out what we wanted to do. And when you're in that phase, you can just kind of go crazy. Pin as much as you want, look at as much as you want, take notes, make a big wish list, and try and figure out kind of the look that you want to go for. And that's sort of a good starting place. You don't have to worry about money at all at this phase. It's just dreaming. It's just getting a feel for things. It's just looking at what you want. Step 2 is to start the research and start paring down the things that you're going to do to the kitchen based on what you're finding out in your research. If there's particular things that won't work in the kind of kitchen you have and you're basically wanting to keep the same footprint or the same cabinetry or whatever. And then secondly, just budget, obviously, right? If you're working with a fixed dollar amount, what things can you keep and do and make work? And then what things are you going to say, that's not for right now. We'll have to figure out how to do that another time. So basically, I'll tell you the short list of what my husband and I decided to do for refreshing our kitchen on a small budget. Trimming out our cabinet doors with trim boards to give them kind of a shaker style front, painting our cabinetry, adding hardware, adding a tile backsplash. We decided to keep the flooring at this point. When we redo flooring in our house, we want to do the same flooring through the kitchen, the living room, the hallway, and so it's a much bigger project. And you know how these things can mushroom very fast, and you intend to do just a couple things on your kitchen, and then 3/4 of your house ends up being a construction zone. And so we have pledged to each other we're going to keep it confined to the kitchen. We will do the flooring at some point, but that's not a project for right now. I think what really got us thinking about painting the kitchen cabinets was when my husband switched out the garage door. We have a door in our kitchen that goes out to the garage, and the original door on there was kind of a reddish stain color. Anyway, it was not my favorite. But he traded that door out for a white kitchen door and added trim and baseboards. And that white door just had a dramatic impact on brightening the space. And it was just the door, like we hadn't even touched the cabinets. And that got me thinking, you know, it would really do a lot for our kitchen to bring more white into the space and to brighten it up quite a bit. So in researching paint, 2 important things that we came across. If you're painting your cabinets, you definitely want to use a high quality primer. And so we are planning to go with a high quality either Kills or something similar to that. We painted and installed all the baseboards in our house. And when we did that, we used a alkyd paint. Very high performance and good for a lot of wear and tear. We have two active little kiddos, and so it was important for our baseboards that we choose a paint that would really hold up well to all the bumps that would be happening with the kids. So we are planning to go with something similar for our cabinets. I will let you know in the final wrap-up video what paint we actually decided to go with, but that's kind of along the lines of what we're thinking. Something that is very high quality, very high performance, that is going to wipe down well. We are going to spend good money on primer, and we are going to spend good money on paint. It's worth it to us since we're not getting new cabinets at this point. We are deciding to really step up the quality as much as possible in primer and paint. We have a pantry in our kitchen, which in a small home I am so thankful for. It is an awesome feature. We used to have an accordion door that closed over this pantry, and honestly it was really ugly. I wanted to replace it at some point, but it was very serviceable and it was doing fine, so we kept it. But then our toddler actually ended up destroying it. I don't know if any of you parents of young kids can relate, but that accordion door is no more. So right now the pantry is just open, and what we're planning to do there is bifold doors. We are also going to add trim boards. We're going to buy a flat front bifold door and then add trim boards just like we're doing on the cabinets, so that the cabinets and the pantry doors both have a shaker look to them. There is an excellent article that I found all about painting your kitchen cabinets from the Flooring Girl, and I will link that in the description box below. And it really cuts through all the chatter of, oh, paint your cabinets like this to look cute, or oh, do this and it'll be trendy. And she just says, look, if you want a paint job that's going to last on your kitchen cabinets, here is what you need. And it's a very thorough article and I would highly recommend it. Okay, in terms of trim, we decided on going with a poplar trim, and this came in part just because of cost. The poplar is cheaper, but there's a lot of different options that you can choose from, and you can just get these at your local home improvement store. We measured all of our kitchen cabinets and figured out how much trim board we needed, and so we're just gradually buying that up. There's not a ton in stock at the home improvement store any given time you go in, and so we just buy what's there and then we make another trip. The original hardware that I wanted to do, we purchased on Amazon, and I will link that in the description box below as well. It's just nice, basic brushed nickel hardware. And we may still end up going with this hardware. I will say, in the time since I bought it, because that was actually the first thing I bought when we were thinking about doing this project, there have been some different kinds of hardware that have caught my eye, and so I'm gonna price those out and see. This is just a nice basic brush nickel hardware that would go with a lot of different styles, and so this very well may be what we end up going with. We decided to keep the countertops in this kitchen. In the neighborhood that we live in, it doesn't make sense to do granite or quartz or any of those things. Again, if we were sure that this was our forever house, I think we would probably pull the countertops and just put in what we want regardless. But at this point, Formica countertops work great. Even more than that, we like the color palette. It's kind of a nice neutral. It's got creams and tans and some gray, and so it just works with a lot of different styles and gave us a lot of flexibility in terms of what we wanted to do. We decided to paint the kitchen cabinets white, and I looked at some different options. You know, could we paint them a green, or even thinking about doing a tuxedo kitchen where you have the lighter colored cabinets on top and then down below you paint the cabinets a different kind of darker accent color. But you know, both of us just kind of talked about it and it really makes sense to us. It's a small kitchen, and as much as we're able, we want to bring a lot of light and brightness to the kitchen, and making all of the cabinets white just made a lot of sense to us. For the backsplash, this is the piece that I'm a little nervous about. Painting I can do all day long. That does not worry me at all. Laying tile, I have never done that before, so this is going to be a learning project for both of us. We found a lovely subway tile that we really like. At first we were thinking maybe to just go with basic white subway tile. It's about as basic as you can get and it's very cost effective. But we found one that was called like an antique white that just had a little bit of like an aged look to it, just a little bit of tan, a little bit of cream in there, not overpowering, but just enough so you notice. And we both liked that. We felt like it complemented the kitchen countertops that we have really well. And then it also went really well with the white cabinets, and it wasn't too stark. We felt like maybe white on white would be a little bit too much. And so we liked having that little bit of an aged look to it. Like I said, we are keeping the flooring, but planning to add a long rug that basically goes the length of the kitchen. And so that's going to be really fun to pick out. I'm not sure if that's a decision I'll regret with having 2 young kids that are spilling a lot of things and making a lot of messes all day. I might regret it, but I really think that the look will do a lot to add texture to the kitchen and just some style that I really want to bring into that space. We are so excited to get this refresh done. It's going to take some time because it's just going to be the 2 of us doing it, but we're really thrilled to do it together, to see how it turns out, and to learn some new things. Obviously, along the way, we're going to be doing some types of projects that we haven't done before. When you're adding up the different things that you want to do in your kitchen, especially when you're on a small budget, a lot of times you just save money by doing things yourself. It takes more time, it's more effort, it's more stress sometimes, but it's definitely worth it to save a little money if you're trying to go on a smaller budget. I hope this video was helpful for you. Hopefully that just kind of gives you an idea of some of what we're doing in a kitchen refresh. We're not really calling it a remodel because in my brain a remodel feels like you're tearing things out and ripping things up, and really these are all cosmetic changes, but we're excited at how they're going to transform the kitchen. That's all for today. Thanks for joining me. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I make videos on this channel all about decluttering, organizing, and creating beauty in your home on a budget, and I will see you next time. Bye.